Good afternoon, everybody. Dee Reinhardt with Illinois WorkNet. Today we have our technical assistance session. I have a couple of things to tell you, and then we can answer questions. So first things first, for another Department of Human Services project, we have to implement some security kind of thing. And what that's going to do is, if you are not working on your computer, like you're not touching your keyboard, you're not doing anything, the window will shut down after 30 minutes. It will log you out and then you'll have to log back in. That is for security purposes, but if you are actually working on your computer, it will not log you out. You just have to touch your keyboard, your mouse, your something, so that when you're in the system, it will keep you logged in. For example, if you were to have your laptop set up and a desktop and you neglect your laptop for half an hour, it'll shut you down on the laptop. All right, any questions about that? Makia's playing with musical backgrounds.
How much time do we need?
30 minutes, and then it'll give you a warning. And this should be going to production sometime next week. So basically, if you've got a customer profile up and you're working on it and you go to lunch, you're probably better off, if you're going to leave the building, you're probably better off just logging out on your own.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Then the next thing that I wanted to show you, this is live production data. And I was just talking with Brandon about how to find these customers and stuff. So like if you need to do reports for whatever, if you pick your agency, and I'm going to go down here and find an agency, and I'm not going to select a program year, but I am going to select category 1. And I'm going to filter that. And it says that there were 41 customers that completed the application. And down here, 41 customers enrolled. Those are the 41 people that you would need to make sure that your profiles and all of that kind of good stuff are all accurate and up to date, so that the steps, the services, the progress page, all of that stuff is squared away. And then if you need to check category 2, you just filter it for category 2, and it will give you your list. So let me clear this. And if I go back to and pick category 2 and filter. Oh, they had 41 in category 2. That was just freaky. I thought it was different, but okay. So then if you click on this number, it will give you that list of customers. I don't want to click on the number because this will give me real names, and I don't want to show those real names in the recording. All right. So basically, that's the updates that I have to tell you. The one thing, I do have my programmer working back on the PPR, the digital version of the PPR. And so it won't be ready for this quarter, but it will hopefully be ready for you to use for the October, November, December quarter. And just to give you a sneak peek of the filters that will be available for you, it's going to look like, I got to find my image here. Oh, I'm back too far. I'm scrolling through my messages. Hang on just a second. Here we go. It's going to look like this. so that you'll be able to pick a program year, a start date, end date that you want to filter. It's going to let you pick your provider if you have access to more than one, but you guys will only have the access to one. You'll be able to pick age, turn the filter on or off. Actually, they're all going to default to off to begin with. And then you'll be able to pick an age in here, and it has each year separately for your program. Then you'll be able to pick race, ethnicity, gender, and service area. And if you pick counties for Cook, it will give you the township that you also need to pick. And if you pick Cook, Chicago, it will give you the 79 communities to select. So all of that information is on the eligibility form. And the reason why that we've added so many of the pre-populated steps and some of the work and things that you guys are like, why do I have to do this? That's because then when you pick a measure down here, you'll be able to filter and all of this stuff will just show up. So I had to do all this stuff for me so that this report could work for you. Okay, so now the other thing that I want to show you is on, and I'm going to go to test for this one. I've had some of you ask about the evaluated, not required. And my programmer has to work on that. But in the interim, to bypass the challenges that you're probably having with getting the evaluated, not required in there, one of the things that you can do is go to the reports. And it's going to take it a hot minute to come up here. And you need to go down to the customer services report. And we have talked about this before. And if you pick a project, and I have myself set up for Austin's People Action Center on this test user. And if I filter, it's going to give me all of the steps that are associated with the customers. So the best thing to do is to make sure that at least one of your customers has every single step that you need to do. So if it's a brand new customer, it's going to have all of those pre-populated steps on it. Then what you can do is go in here and you find these numbers. So I'm going to go to the next page here so I can find a customer here. So say that we're looking at the Casey Life Skills permanent connections. I've got 6 people that have not started. If I click on the number 6, it gives me a list of those customers. And it gives you what the status is. So then I can go in here and I can do evaluated, not required for all of these. Like say, I'm just going to practice with this or demonstrate with this. And I put in the same date for these 3 date requests. So 10/4. And the same end date. That's why I picked one with a 6, because he didn't want to watch me do this with 39 people. And then put a 0 in here. Now, if some of your people actually had like say Snowman actually did start it and he had a successful completion, you can change this date on here. And put that they had 10 hours and then save. And it updated all 6 of those people at one time. All right. You can come back and watch this recording. I'll try to have it posted by the end of the day today. That is a way to get around this. Now, if you've got somebody that hasn't started it, that shows up in that list, you just have to put in the project that started, leave that there, and then just put the same dates in there and the 0, and it will leave it alone, but it will let you report that. Any questions about this? You can open up your mic if you want to.
We can do this now, correct?
You can do this now, and it gets around the error that you're getting on the actual career plan. And I sent somebody an image. So Brandon, if I email you that image, can you email it out to everybody?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, because I did a screenshot with all of that stuff in it. So I put all the things into one whole document with what the steps were. So I will email this to Brandon and he can send this out to all of you. All right, any questions about this other than yes, you can use it now?
And all of this is due at the end of the month?
Well, if you've got category 2 people, I don't know.
No, category 1.
Brandon, are all of their career plans and everything due? For all of these activities and stuff, I believe it's all due for category 1 at the end of the month.
It is, unless for some reason you have, youth going past September 30th. But well, honestly, no one's asked me or had any special circumstances or let me know about any special circumstances. So I assume everyone was done by September 30th.
Anthony, we're looking up your nostrils. All right, and Brandon, you put in the chat.
Yes, I just had my planner out here, and that reminded me. I said, "Man, that's only a month from today. I better announce." But the date, it was just set yesterday, I think. So the next quarterly meeting, and it'll be sent out from ICOI again. So would assume you'll sign up the same way. You'll get an invite from ICOI and be able to sign up for the quarterly meeting, and you'll get an invite from them. But it's on Friday, November 19th at 10 a.m.
Okay, are there any other questions that I can leave the recording going for? Otherwise, I will turn the recording off and we'll get into actual questions. How to conduct the career plan for clients on their profile really quick. And okay, yes, I can do that. And I can do that in test. So on the career plan, if I go to a customer, so I'm going to go back to my dashboard. And I'm going to go to category 2, filter. I'm going to click on my list of enrolled. And then I'm going to click on somebody's last name. So I'm going to click on Jordan Grzanich here. And from their career plan, the tab across the top, on the third step, this add steps and services, if you've just added the customer, all of those pre-populated steps will be in here. This customer was added a long time ago, so they don't have all those pre-populated steps. If you need to find that list of pre-populated steps, you can go to the partner page and you can go to the full list of resources and you can find the pre-populated steps right here. And that opens up and shows you all of the steps that need to be added to your customer to make that PPR work automatically. All right, so make sure that all of your customers have those. And then if they do have them, you just click on the purple bar and it tells you how many steps are in there. And it tells you whether or not the step has been started, completed, all of that kind of stuff. If you want to add a step, say you didn't get all of these steps in here, you can add this step. You can click the pencil. It will ask you for a goal. So if you don't have the goals added, you'll want to make sure that you add the goals first. And to do that on the build a plan, I'm going to open this to a new tab. You go into the goals and you create the goal. And then I can go back to my step, refresh it. And then I've got that planned start date, started, when did they do it? Or you can use the career services, the customer services report that we just talked about a little bit ago. When's their planned due date? How many hours a week? It's not going to be WIOA funded. And then what does this have to do with? Limited education or training, maybe. And then we update the customer service, put in a case note, and make these case notes something that somebody will understand. I don't remember what I picked. Does anybody remember what I picked? Add the case note. If you need to add a service provider, you can do that. If you need to add a dollar value for the service, you can do that. Attendance is not active yet, but it should be early in November. And so if you assign dates and times in here, you will be able to track the customer's attendance. So this is like a huge addition right here. We built this for another project and it's going out global because everybody will be able to benefit from this. So that is basically, Luis, the process of going through and updating steps. Does that give you enough that you can get through? And there are instructions on the there are instructions on the partner page for doing the career plan. All right, let me show you the attendance real quick. I'm gonna refresh this page. And so then what happens is you click on the box and you can enter time in, time out for lunch, back in from lunch, or time out for the day. So if they came in at 2 p.m. and checked out at 4 p.m., you can save that, and then you can go back in. And on top of that, on the customer profile, the actual student, customer, youth participant, they will be able to log in and check in from their own profile. So if you have a computer lab or if you've got them out on a work site, they'll be able to log in and check in on their own. And we are building a group attendance feature so that you'll be able to track people all, like if you had a workshop, you'll be able to track everybody all at one time. Mary, do you like that? All right. Any other questions that I can show while we're recording? All right, I'm going to stop the recording and then we'll go into the questions. So thanks for watching, everybody, on the recording. All right, now, oh, wait, I stopped sharing my screen. I didn't stop the recording. Stop recording.